Okay, well, we just got back in here from our wild edibles walk, and I've had a squirrel in here boiling all morning. Look at that, boys. Whoo, man. That's some good stuff right there, man. That meat should just be falling off the bone now. Oh, yeah. I can feel how soft it is. And I wanted to boil this one up before I finish cooking my lunch today. And we'll see how that goes. We got some wild edibles in us now from some trail nibbles along the way. So we got our vitamins and nutrients. Now it's time to eat some good meat. Okay, we've got our squirrel right here that we boiled up. We've got a pot over here on the stove. It's got lard in it that's boiling, or it's hot, I should say. Hopefully it's hot enough right now. The stove's going good enough that we can fry in it, deep fry in it. I'm going to bust an egg here into this pan from our Americana. Maybe even 2 eggs, but we're going to start with 1 and see how that does. Mix that around a little bit. Just like that. Good stuff. Get one of our other pans here that we can use. Now we're going to get our sundries out here, and I'm going to use corn flour for this. And I'm going to put a little corn flour inside here. Then I'm going to get my spice kit over here real quick. And I'm going to mix a couple things into this flour. And the first one's going to be just a little bit of garlic and pepper mix. I'm going to need a little more than that, though. There we go. Okay. Then we're going to put just a little bit. Oh, almost put cinnamon in there, boys. Always good to smell that stuff before you go to pouring. And we're going to put a little bit of cayenne pepper in there as well. So we got some garlic pepper and some cayenne that we're mixing into our corn flour. Okay. Now we've got our boiled squirrel here, and this guy should just, I mean, that meat's just going to peel right off there. Look at that. It's just falling off there now, okay? And that's exactly what we want, because I'm going to take this meat and peel it right off of here. Excuse me, I dropped it in the wrong spot. And I'm going to drop it in this egg, just like this, in whole chunks. Yeah, there we go. Just like that. Okay. Get the other leg off of there and do the same thing with it. Other thigh. Go ahead and pull that meat in chunks off the bone. We don't want any bones in this at all. Just the chunks of meat. There we go. Okay. Get our rag here to wipe our hands on. Okay. Now we're going to mix those chunks in the egg here. Just like this, real good. There we go. Now we're going to take those chunks and we're going to put them in our batter. Just like this. Mix them around in that batter real good. Get them battered up real good here. And then we're going to deep fry them. Okay, I just threw the first test piece into the oil here to make sure it was hot enough. And what you'll see happen here, and I'll show you real quick what happens. When you take this stuff and we'll just take another small piece out of here real quick if we can find it, so I can show you how this happens. But when you first put it in there, it's going to sink to the bottom, and as it cooks and that flour expands, it's going to float to the top. And when it floats to the top, you know you're done. And you can see how it's starting to come up to the surface now right there. That means it's getting pretty close to being done. See, it's floating in there now. You can see it rolling around, so it's good and done. I'll try a bigger piece here and see what happens. And once we fried this meat up like this, you know, we can drain this off onto our rag, and then we can put it in, we can store it in a rag, and it'll keep for several days. It's not going to go rancid. When we're done with this mixture in here, this stuff is going to turn to, you know, what's called roux, has been pointed out to me by several of my culinary buddies on YouTube. This is going to turn to a roux, which is basically a browned flour and oil mixture, and we can keep this good by pouring it off into another container. We can keep it good and use it to thicken stews and gravies and things like that with as well. Let's say that's good and done. Pull him out. Get another one in. I'll put a few of them in there this time. Remember, we already boiled the squirrel. So the only point of this now is really to heat it up and cook the flour. That's all we're really doing, and baking that crust onto it. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Now you can see we put the rest of our squirrel in there now. We got some, went in and stripped all the back and all the legs and all that stuff off now, and frying up the rest of it. And then we're going to take the rest of this flour and put it in this heated oil or heated lard and make ourselves a batch of roux for use later on to make a gravy with for a breakfast. Okay guys, so here's what we got when we're done. Just a breaded and deep fried bunch of squirrel here. This is pretty much all the meat off the one squirrel. I haven't eaten any of this yet. Don't think I'm not going to. I'll spare you eating a meal with me here, but I am going to save some of this for the trail as well. A little Cholula on a couple pieces of this, just to see how she tastes, is gonna have to happen though. Okay. Oh man. Ooh-wee. That's really good. I mean, that's really good. Alright. Let this stuff drain off and cool down. And then we can pack it, wrap it, and have it with us on the trail. And it'll be good for at least a couple of days. Ah.